There's an uncomfortable truth we don't talk about enough. A truth that lives quietly behind office walls, inside conference rooms, and across video calls where someone hears the words most people dream of. Congratulations, you've been promoted. Everyone expects a smile, a spark in the eyes, a rush of excitement, a sense of pride. But not everyone feels that. Some people hear those words and feel nothing, no joy, no adrenaline, no celebration rising in their chest. Just a subtle, almost invisible internal shrug. And that is where the world begins to judge. Society tells us that promotions are the ultimate symbol of success. That climbing the ladder is a universal desire. That more responsibility, more status, and more money should automatically make you happier. So when someone doesn't react the way everyone expects, when they don't glow with excitement, when they don't brag about their new title, people assume there's something wrong with them. But what if there's nothing wrong? What if the lack of excitement isn't a flaw, but a clue pointing directly to their psychological wiring, their emotional history, and the silent battles they've carried for years? Today, we're going deep into the raw truth about people who don't feel excited about promotions. And it may challenge everything you think you know about ambition, fulfillment, and the hidden cost of success. Before judging someone who doesn't celebrate their promotion, you need to ask one thing. What does success actually mean to them? Society forces a one-size-fits-all definition. Success is climbing, achieving, winning, becoming more, being above others, constantly leveling up. But not everyone buys into that definition. Not everyone chases it. For many, success feels more like peace, stability, time, freedom, safety, balance, and emotional security, and promotions rarely offer any of those things. Here's the part most people never consider. Many people aren't excited about promotions not because they don't care, but because promotions trigger something deeper, pressure. And pressure is a silent killer of excitement. A promotion doesn't just bring a better title. It brings expectations, increased visibility, more responsibility, leadership demands, and a fear of failure. It brings longer hours, tighter deadlines, fewer mistakes allowed, and more people watching. To someone already emotionally overloaded, or someone who grew up as the family caretaker, or someone managing anxiety beneath the surface, a promotion can feel less like a reward and more like a new battlefield. They don't feel excited because their nervous system doesn't interpret the news as good. It interprets it as, prepare yourself. Things are about to get harder. Then there's the factor of emotional numbness. And millions of people walk around with it without even realizing. People who grew up suppressing their emotions, who were taught to stay calm, stay composed, stay in control, often struggle to feel excitement, even in moments designed to produce it. They learned young that too much emotion is dangerous, that showing excitement makes you vulnerable, and that celebrating too early can lead to disappointment. They learn that good news doesn't last and that achievements don't guarantee safety. So their brain shuts down the celebration reflex before it even starts. It's not that they don't feel excitement. It's that their emotional wiring doesn't allow it to surface. They learn to survive, not to celebrate. One of the biggest misconceptions about people who don't get excited about promotions is that they're unambitious. But that's rarely true. They are ambitious, just not in the ways society measures. Their ambition might be to build a peaceful life, avoid burnout, maintain mental health, stay in control, or protect their energy. For them, ambition is internal, not external. It's not about climbing, it's about preserving. And promotions, unfortunately, often threaten the very things they are trying to protect. Now, for the raw, unfiltered truth that almost nobody talks about. People who don't feel excited about promotions often carry trauma. Not always dramatic trauma, sometimes it's subtle emotional wounds that shaped how they respond to opportunities. For people who grew up with unpredictable caregivers, conditional approval, perfectionist families, or constant criticism, a promotion isn't a gift. It's a replica of their childhood stress. Their nervous system doesn't interpret a promotion as, you deserve this. It interprets it as, here comes another test you can't afford to fail. And that kills excitement instantly. Some people simply don't define their identity by their career. They don't need titles to feel valuable or recognition to feel seen. They find value in relationships, hobbies, creativity, and personal growth. For them, work is a tool, not an identity. So a new title feels neutral, functional, Just another line in an email signature, not a life-changing event. Promotions rarely come without visibility. New eyes watching, more people evaluating. And for someone who prefers working quietly, contributing without pressure, and avoiding unnecessary attention, a promotion can feel like being dragged onto a stage they never wanted. Visibility is exciting for some, but terrifying for others, especially those who've experienced social anxiety, bullying, or harsh criticism. For them, a promotion doesn't feel like rising. It feels like exposure, and exposure is danger. Other people don't react emotionally because they react logically. They immediately ask themselves, is this worth it? What will I lose? What will this cost me long term? These individuals have a highly analytical survival mindset. They evaluate everything through a risk-reward lens. And, in their assessment, promotions rarely have enough reward to justify the cost. You get more work, more pressure, more stress, and in exchange, slightly more money and a title nobody cares about outside the office. For many, the math simply doesn't add up. So here's where everything comes together. The real reason many people don't get excited about promotions comes down to one fundamental truth. A promotion means nothing to someone who has already learned to validate themselves. Read that again. People who don't rely on external validation don't experience promotions the way others do. Because they don't need a title to feel capable, recognition to feel seen, or praise to feel valuable. Their sense of self comes from within. So the external upgrade doesn't create internal fireworks. They may appreciate it, they may accept it. But excitement, that requires a validation gap, a gap they simply don't have. They already feel whole, and that is the raw truth. People assume they're unmotivated, lazy, ungrateful, or afraid of challenges, but the truth is, they're self-aware. They're emotionally independent. They're conscious of their limits and protective of their mental health. They're not seduced by status or manipulated by titles. They don't chase approval. They know what truly matters to them, and they protect it fiercely. If you're someone who doesn't feel excited about promotions, if you've ever forced a smile during the announcement, if your colleagues seemed more excited for you than you were, then hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. Your reaction is not a flaw. It's not a sign of weakness or a lack of ambition. Your lack of excitement is a reflection of your priorities formed through years of experience, growth, and self-understanding. You're not failing to feel excited. You're simply not excited by the same things as everyone else. And that is okay, more than okay, it's honest. If this video made you rethink the meaning of success, if you finally understood yourself a little better, or if this helped you understand someone in your workplace, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about the silent truths that almost no one has the courage to share. And in the next video, we're going to explore the psychology of people who prefer stability over climbing the ladder and why that might be a hidden superpower. Don't miss it. You'll see yourself in ways you never imagined.